Welcome to the Humboldt YouTube channel. I'm Doc, and this time decided to come out to Trinidad and hike the Trinidad Head. You know we love it out here, and it's the first Saturday of the month, so I want to take advantage of the time and come and check out the Trinidad Head Lighthouse, man. It's a piece of history, so stay tuned, hang with me. Let's get to it. So I'm headed up to Trinidad. It's about 20 miles or so north of us here in Eureka. And it's quite a historic town. It's a significant piece of Humboldt County history as well. And my family and I, we used to live up in Trinidad actually for a short time right there on Patrick's Point Drive, about 1.5 miles up from the town. And we'd go hike the Trinidad Head often, especially on a day like today. So I just wanted to take the opportunity and go hike the Trinidad Head, man. I really appreciate everybody watching. Please be sure you subscribe down below. We'll see you out there. Getting into Trinidad. I love this town. Trinidad's actually the oldest town on the California North Coast. It was actually founded on April 8th of 1850. It was about a month before the city of Eureka. The city of Eureka was founded in May 13th of 1850. Trinidad used to be the original county seat of what used to be Trinity County, right after the state was established. Oh, look at that. There's the old Murphy's. That used to be a Saunders back in the day. I don't know exactly when it was, when it became a Murphy's. Maybe somebody in internet land can tell me. Trinidad Bay was actually first documented discovery was in November of 1595 by a Portuguese Manila, the San Augustin. It was Sebastião Rodrigues Soromenho, but he didn't actually come onto shore. He just anchored, you know. It wasn't until 1775 when a couple of explorers from Spain came on board here, and they anchored and came on to land. I didn't pay attention here. I'm gonna go hike up to the cross in a little bit, but it was Bruno de Heceta and Juan Francisco. They were Spanish Navy explorers, and they rediscovered the bay in 1775, and this area was actually controlled by the Kingdom of Spain until the end of the Mexican-American War, and ended in 1846, and it became part of the United States and California. The first post office here in Trinidad opened in 1851, and it became part of Klamath County, what used to be Klamath County anyway. And then eventually Humboldt County in 1853 was formed, and Trinidad became part of Humboldt County. I'm going to park real quick and take a walk. Wow, man. Such a beautiful day. When they got electricity up to the Lighthouse station in 1942, they built a memorial down here In 1948, this parcel of land right here was donated by Earl and Neva Hallmark. This piece of land right here. And they built a replica, a memorial lighthouse of the Trinidad Head light station, and it sat here for years, but January 2018 they moved it. The memorial lighthouse, because this land it's fallen in, and this year there used to be a sidewalk right here. All this land has come down, and living on the coast, you know. But they were going to move it. They were actually going to move it right here, this little area here, but they shipped it down below January of 18, and then they built a new platform and everything else down there at Trinidad Bay, and we're going to go down there in a minute, but just wanted to stop real quick. It's hard to beat it, man. Camel Rock. There's the bay down there. There's the head right there. We're going to hike up there to the top where that cross is at. Wow. Well, I definitely picked a good day to come out, man. That's for sure. All right, well, I'm going to go down and park on Trinidad State Beach and hike the head, man. Get down to the beach. Trinidad State Beach is it's quite a popular spot, and there's for good reason. It you can park right on the beach, man. It's one of our favorites for sure. We used to come down here, my family and I, all the time, because it's right up the road, you know, especially during the week. But there's the Trinidad Memorial Lighthouse. They moved it down here, and you know, they built a nice memorial platform and all that, and they also put the bell down here as well. All right, well, I'm gonna park and grab some stuffs and get my hike on here. Man, couldn't have picked a better day, that's for sure. Getting the buoys ready for the bay. Going to take the stairs and go around the ocean side, you know, and then drop down back down on the harbor side. But up the stairs here. It's not that hard of a walk, but it is about a mile or so around the head here. Get a good look at the town. It's beautiful here in the harbor. Man. Little head. Used to be a whaling station right here. Through the like 1920s. And actually the original dock was built up along this shore over here. Yeah, it was a whaling station. There's a big old ramp right here, and they'd pull those whales up and do work on them. Just the way it was, I guess. All right, well, get our hike on. This road ends fairly quick. It becomes a trail as you get up and around, but there's a vista point at the top where you can really oversee the bay here in College Cove and all that. And that's where we're headed, and then we'll hit the cross at the top here. Here's where the trail breaks off, but you can really get a good overview of Trinidad. And it's all Trinidad State Beach in here. College Cove back there. Puto Island. See Elkhead, the Omanuku Point and McGill Point and all that. Yeah. Wow. It's calm today. It's beautiful, man. No wind. Wow. Alright. Just keep it cooking, man. This is why we used to hike this all the time. It's a good walk too, but I'd call this trail semi-accessible, you know. It's not too bad, but you do you know, want to be careful. It goes around and you get to the top of the head where the cross is at, and then you can follow the road back down. But spur that away comes up on you. But this little trail here, I wouldn't call them steps, but I'd say watch your step, you know. It's worth it though. It is quiet. Except for some dork talking to a GoPro. Whoa. Wow, man. Well, it's hard to beat it, but days like today and views like this, that's why my family and I love living in Humboldt. It gets pretty windy up here. I got a picture of my son sitting right here, and the wind was coming in offshore, or coming in from the north, I should say. And man, I don't know how windy it was, but you could tell by the picture. It was blowing. Surf is so calm too. Really see back there in College Cove and all that. Looks like there's a bunch of driftwood down there. Wow. Well, I think I'm gonna chill here for a minute. Wow, man. Well, it's hard to beat the North Coast, you know? As far as I'm concerned. I mean, this is California as far as I'm concerned here. To me, anyway. It's looking south. City of Eureka. Get into Heceta, McKinleyville. It's Clam Beach along the way. The airport back in there. It goes into Moonstone and all that. The Trinidad Lighthouse is actually down below us. It's still on the cliffside. The Trinidad Lighthouse and the Punta Gorda Lighthouse down a couple miles south of the mouth of the Atoll. The original lighthouses are still in place. Trinidad being one, Punta Gorda being the other. And it's cool. And first Saturday of every month, from 10 to 12, you can go down and check out the Trinidad Lighthouse and all that. It's cool. There's a docent down there. All right, well. Whew. Let's keep it cooking here. Oh, take a booty hurt. Yeah. Getting at the top here. Cross is right around the corner, but June 9th, 1775. Bruno, Heceta, and Juan Francisco actually they anchored in the bay, and then 2 days later on June 11th they hiked to the top of the head here and they planted a wooden cross. And they did it in the name of King Charles III of Spain, which Kingdom of Spain claimed this land for a long time again before the Mexican-American War. But yeah, there's June 9th. That's when they actually landed in the bay. But it was 2 days later on June 11th that they erected. The original cross was wooden, and it sat here for years and years. And then in 1913 they erected this cross and replaced it here. Oh, actually, look, it says right there, September 9th, 1913. Yeah, King Charles III. Another significant piece of Humboldt history. You know, the history in Humboldt tracks before the history of the United States, just about. I mean, it goes back a ways, you know. Humboldt County, too, it's such a significant link to California's history with the gold rush in 1848, and then settlers came over in 1848 and 49 when they refound Humboldt Bay. Then the lumber industry kicked off. Wow. See all along the coast. Getting back down on the southern end of the head here, really get a view of Trinidad. Right in the middle of the head right here. See the harbor parking lot down there? There's a small head behind that rock. It's all of Trinidad in here. Wow. Getting down to the other side here. Ooh. Go check out the Trinidad Harbor Lighthouse, or the Trinidad Head Lighthouse, I should say. I've been working on videos on all our historic lighthouses, and I really get into the depth of the history here. But it's Saturday, man, and it's open, so I'm gonna go Take a walk of the lighthouse, man. Take our turn on the tour. Take my turn here. We're here with Willie. He's going to tell us a little bit about the history of the lighthouse here.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, hello, I'm Willie. I'm a volunteer docent with the Trinidad Museum Society, and I've been up here showing people the lighthouse for the past 3 or 4 years. And this lighthouse is still in operation today. It's over 150 years old. It's been in operation since 1871. This is the original building that the lighthouse was housed in. It's never changed.
Hello?
At the beginning, it was a coal oil powered Fresnel lens that sent the light out to sea. And it could get the light about 14 miles out into the ocean. Early on, it was run by a lighthouse keeper. The lighthouse keeper was employed by a division of the federal government called the Lighthouse Administration. And the lighthouse keepers would do, early on, their whole career here, right? So some of the first keepers did 20 and 25-year stints. And then there was a rotating cast of lighthouse keepers after the first ones did these long careers. The captain, early on, they were captains in this lighthouse administration, and they would live up here in a house that was on this flat. So there's a grassy flat just above us. There used to be a big family home there, and a barn for domestic animals, water storage, that sort of thing. And the original keepers would come over here, they run the light all night. They would also be responsible for maintaining the bell. When you go up, you can look left down the cliff and you'll see a little house that's perched precariously on the cliff. That's the bell house. There used to be a bell in there that ran on a clockwork mechanism. That's why it's on the cliff edge, so that counterweights can dangle off the edge to run the bell. And so that was the lighthouse keeper's job. One of the early captains, probably the most Hollywood story that I like to tell, is about the giant wave that hit here. In 1913, actually there's a difference of opinion about whether it's 1913 or 1914. But just after Christmas, just before New Year's, there was a multi-year storm, or I'm sorry, not multi-year, excuse me, multi-day storm, you know, long stormy period, heavy rain, big wind. And the keeper saw water washing over Pilot Rock several times in the lead up to the really big wave. Pilot Rock is this big rock that's out here. It's 93 feet above sea level. So he saw huge waves regularly for several days. He's gonna go play like a game of cribbage or pinochle or something with his family, and he says, I gotta go out and just check quick before I come back in. And he goes up, his wife is looking out the window at him, attending to the light in the lighthouse. There's driving rain, it's a heavy storm. And she sees a huge wall of water come hit the base of the head. He sees it coming as well. And it crashes against the base of the head with such force that it shoots up the side of the head and actually breaks the plate glass here in the windows. Where we're standing is 175 feet above sea level. That's 195 feet above sea level. And the lighthouse keeper describes it as a flood to the level of the balcony. For a brief second before it washed back out, it was level, flat water between the balcony and the bluff. And that's how he describes the wave.
Wow. A lot of
he was okay, but he did have to, you know, put the light back on and fix the lens and fix the lighthouse. And kind of an incredible thing to think about as you stand up here so high above the ocean.
Gave him a bit of a fright, eh?
Definitely a bit of a fright, yes. And so then after these keepers, he was one of the long-term keepers, Captain Harrington. And then there was a series of shorter-term keepers through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. The Coast Guard took over in 1961 or so. And then the Coast Guard ran this full-time until about the 90s. At that point, everything was automated, it was on electric light, and the Coast Guard pulled out and didn't need to do anything anymore. But yeah, you're welcome to go up. Welcome to the lighthouse.
Very neat.
Girls wait.
All right.
Girls wait.
What about the
Thank you, Willie.
tsunami?
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Take my turn in.
Wasn't the tsunami
Climb
in
it.
64? When did the Crescent City tsunami? There was.
Yeah,
There was.
Make our way to the top.
Kind of funny, she keeps telling me things, and like, it's like,
Well, because the lights are like, it's like the lighthouse, God's lighthouse, it's like, no water. So you go on it.
Thank you, extra handles. Yeah. What a cool piece of history. Wow. Wow, man. It's Pilot Rock we was talking about. There's the bell tower, or the bell house down there. Wow, that's really cool. Well, 1871, standing in a piece of history. It's really cool. Here's the beacon that he was talking about. That's still active. It's automated, of course. Well, cool, man. I'll make my way back down and let other people enjoy here.
I'm not against doing it if BLM wants to send people. There's a pretty low stress thing for volunteers in the music society to do it once a month.
Cool, man. Well, if you catch it just right, hike the head and check out the lighthouse, man. That's cool, man. Cal Fire training. Want to be a fireman. It ain't for the out of shape, that's for sure. Get there, Holmes. Wow. I appreciate these guys, man. That's a life of public service, especially in fire. It's no joke, man. I appreciate these guys. Man, you can see the harbor down below us. Wow. Wow, man. A lot of dirt taken out of here from the Trinidad Head. At least from back to the historical photos that I found back in the late 1800s. It's all Trinidad in here. Such a beautiful little town. That's cool, man. Well, thank you so much for watching. You know, my family and I, we greatly appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by subscribing down below, and go visit HumboldtX.com. We got shirts and hoodies and all that, and anything we make off the merchandise just helps to pay to keep this small family channel going. So from my family to yours, celebrate others, respect yourself, because love is powerful, man. We'll see you on the next one.